Hello everyone, this is Jodo Caden Gaming. Now on the forums I've seen a lot of people say that the Jenner is absolutely worthless and that the Raven is just so much better, the Commando is so much better, Jenners can't compete with Streak Ravens with ECMs, Jenners can't compete with Commandos with ECMs. So I decided, since Link was sick and I couldn't do Death Barrel Domination without him, or I don't really want to do it, I decided I'd start a new series showing off how the Jenner can own and dominate on the battlefield. Now, one thing to remember, though, is that a Jenner can never go head-to-head with the Streak Raven, with an ECM. Because, frankly, without streaks against a light mech, if you're a light mech, the one with streaks is almost always going to win unless he's a terrible player, and the one without streaks is an amazing player. Now, before we begin, let me show you my setup and my skills. I have 4 small lasers and 2 SRM4s. I have small instead of medium because I like to have the extra heat efficiency. On Veracian I have medium, as you can see, but this is an alternate setup for a Jenner K. Now, if you are going to buy a Jenner and you don't want to buy them all, I'd suggest buying the Jenner D. It's the best because it has more missile slots, and missiles are what are going to do your damage. Now, on a Jenner, if you have the money, you always want endo steel, ferrous fiber, and double heat sinks, because you'll have plenty of space for them. You're not really going to run out of space in a hurry, because what are you going to put on it, right? So, if you have the money, you might as well get those. Now, originally I had jump jets, but frankly, jump jets aren't really that great. I decided to throw off my jump jets in favor of a better engine. I have a 255 engine on this thing. Now, I have no module on this thing, but I have all the basics done and times 2'd. And I have all the elites done. Now, most people won't have the elites done, but most of you will probably have the basics, if them not times 2. Even without those things, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. You'll have a slightly harder time than I will, but overall it won't make too much of a difference. Except you'll wish you had speed tweaks, but that's about it. But anyway, let's get in game. Alright. Now, one of the things to remember is just because you're fast, this is a thing for Jenners, but not just for Jenners, really for all light mechs. I've seen a lot of ECM Ravens just run out and think their ECM and lag shield will protect them, and I have fun sniping them. Same thing applies to ECM Commandos or really any light mech. You never want to run out too far. Never try to engage more than one enemy at a time, if you're even going to want to engage one. Because frankly, you don't have that much firepower and you don't have that much armor. Now I'm running out a little bit ahead to try to get some spotting info. I'm taking a peek at the ridge, seeing they haven't topped the ridge yet. I'm going to look down here to see if I can find a light mech. Some people might prefer heat vision. I am not a big fan of heat vision, so I don't use it much, except when I'm in my Nexus and sniping. But in my Jenner, I don't like to use it for scouting. Although I will admit, it is kind of useful sometimes. But yeah, I'm just currently running around. Some people feel like they have to be doing something. You don't. You just have to be running around, spotting the enemy build, spotting for your team. Now I see this sneaky little person's running off to this side, potentially going for a base cap. He has no streaks, so I'm going to go for him. You never want to attack a Raven which has streaks. Never, ever, ever as a Jenner. But since he has no streaks, I'm going to try to go for him. Now I accidentally got stuck on that bit of terrain and caught, so he might escape me. But no, I think he's a noob, and he probably has a lower class engine than me. Now I'm actually aiming pretty badly. I'm forgetting to compensate for lag shield. Now I see LRMs are coming at me, so I'm going to try to hug the cliff side and get away, because when you're in a light mech and LRMs are coming at you, never a good idea to stay in the same spot. You always want to hug whatever defensive thing you can. Now, I'm going to try to hit him with my SRMs. It's very difficult, particularly because I'm lagging a little bit. Thankfully, I'm getting some friendly LRM fire supporting me. And he doesn't seem to think you're the greatest aimer. Now, that was pretty bad of me. I accidentally got myself hit by friendly LRMs. Now, what he's doing is very bad because I have SRMs on me. He should never stay still. If I hadn't have had a terrible aim, I would have hit him right there. And here comes my friend. And here he stays still. I can afford to stay still against him because, frankly, I have SRMs. So, of the two of us, I'm going to have the more firepower. Now, if he's moving, I'm certainly not going to stay still. But if he stays still, I'm always going to match him. That's a good thing to remember, particularly if they have streaks, because if they have streaks, they're always going to have a higher hit chance. Now, with the help of my friend, I managed to take him out. If I had have gone just straight ahead, I would have failed to take him out, which would have made me a lot less effective this game. Now, it seems like my friends are actually managing to own the enemy team quite well so far. I'm going to go see what I can do, not overextend myself, just fire my lasers where I can, spot where I can. Overall, not try to do too much, but just do what little I can. Some people seem to think whenever they're playing, they always have to hazard themselves, make or break, do that sort of thing. But really, if you just stay alive, you're going to do a lot more effectiveness, assuming you don't get yourself killed carelessly. I mean, right now I'm not doing very much, but I'm just sort of here, helping, doing a bit of damage, even if my SRM aim is very bad. I'm just helping them knock out enemy mechs. Now, it seems like my team was a little bit too good this game. I haven't been able to really show off that much. I'll probably play another game after this one, and sync them together in the same video. Hopefully I'll get a worse team. It's funny when you're wishing for a worse team. Now, I see this guy's an LRM boat. I do not want to go directly at him. I want to keep as much cover between me and him as possible until I get within 150 meters. Then I can afford to go straight at him. Once I'm here, he cannot hurt me, except with his med lasers, but really I can out-firepower him at that point. So I'm just going to frankly sit here and try to take out his right torso. Now, I would go for his legs normally, but if I was with a pre-made, but I'm pretty sure these pugs will end up taking him out if I don't just go for his torso. Well, they did end up stealing the kill anyway, but it doesn't really matter. Now, this Centurion, he also has most of the LRMs, so I can afford to be a little bit undodgy against him, I guess you'd call it. And this is the joys of beta. He seemed to be glitching down that thing, getting a little bit of rubber band lag right there. Anyway, I think I showed off a few things in that game. I mean, obviously, I got plenty of damage, as you can see. Not the highest on my team, certainly not, but I did pretty well. But I really think that didn't show off how to own with a Jenner. Frankly, you could just say, well, my team did that, and I will perfectly admit my team was very good there. But hopefully in the next game I'll get a worse team. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you all in the next game. Alright, let's hope my team doesn't own this game, and maybe I'll be able to show off a few more things. Now, in a Jenner, you may... Oh, not in a Jenner, you may have. In that last game, you may have noticed that I stopped a few times. You want to be very careful when doing that, because when you're stopped, you're basically a shoot me, please target. If they even hit you with a gauze, an SRM, it's going to rip up your armor. If you don't die immediately to their first shot. That's really something which applies to all light mechs. Now I'm going to run up to try to cap Kappa. Kappa. Simply because I'm probably faster than anything else on the battlefield, and this thing will provide me some cover if the enemies pop out. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I just feel like going for the cap right now. And it seems like I did rightly, because they seem to be going for Gamma. Now that I've taken a little bit of it, I'm not going to test my luck anymore, and I'm going to pull out and go to the right side. Particularly because my team seems to be already headed to Kappa. Now I'm going to see what I can do to scout, just see if there are any enemies up around here. Heat vision I'm not a big fan of, as I said in the last video, particularly not on Caustic. Now I see this Mando has a streak, but he only has one streak, so I might think about fighting him, although it's pretty dangerous. This Carafrat seems like a more plump thing to kill. Unfortunately, it seems like he has a buddy with him, so I'm going to loop around here, see if I can see how many they are, and see if I can hit them in the back. We've already lost one man, so that's pretty bad. This guy's got LRMs, double AC-10s, and 2 meds. Not a lot of fast fire weaponry. Unfortunately, he has a buddy, and his buddy spotted me. And his buddy got a nasty hit with that AC-20. Ouch. I'm going to try to pull out. This is way too dangerous a spot to be. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go up behind him. He seems to no longer be interested in me. I'm just hanging behind him. He seems to have a lot of armor on the rear, but frankly, I can't take him head on, so I'm gonna keep trying for his rear. Now, the one benefit of being a light mech is not a lot of people will pay attention to you, particularly a Jenner. I mean, a lot of people see Ravens, particularly ECM Ravens, as a threat. But Jenners, really, I mean, what are they going to do to you, right? Now, unfortunately, someone does seem to be shooting at me, so I need to pull out, if I can. It seems to be this Hunchback. I'm going to pop up behind him and see it. Hunchbacks, by default, have very little armor on their rear. So if I can get up behind him and pop his rear... Unfortunately, I'm stuck on him, so I need to move out of here. Now, one thing to look out is medium mechs are a lot more maneuverable than large or heavy mechs. By large, I mean assault. So you really want to be cautious when engaging them, particularly with a leg like mine, and when they have an AC-20. Now, I think I need to pull out. I'm going to try to take out this Mando while he's still. This is one thing you should not do. Unless you're in cover, do not be still while capping. I only stayed still simply to get a good shot on him. Now, most of that shot hit his arm, which was kind of bad. I should have aimed that shot better. But I did manage to bust off his arm and quite a bit of his rear armor. Now I'm just going to follow him, see what I can do. I really got to look out for that Hunchback to my right. One thing you really need as a light mech is situation awareness. Like that Hunchback, I spotted him in a split second. And now note that I got to look out for AC-20s. Although I think I'm a little bit farther than his range, so hopefully I shouldn't have to worry anymore. Now I'm just going to try to finish off this Commando. He's doing the bad thing of going in a straight line. Ooh, looks like my friend's LRM fire is actually hitting me. Why he shouldn't have been running a straight line is because if he's running a straight line, it makes it much easier for me to hit him. Now, I wish he had a worse engine. It would be much easier to hit him if he did. But, oh well. Yikes, he's just absolutely ignoring me. I wonder why he's doing that. Now, unfortunately, while I've been fighting this Mando, it seems like the enemy team has been owning most of our bases. But I'm just going to try to take out this Mando simply because there's not much else I can do. And if I do take him out, he won't be able to hurt anybody else. Now I'm going to try to go up behind this Hunchback and hurt him. Now it seems like a lot of our team's dead, so I'm going to bail out and try to go up to this ridge. Oh, if I lose that right leg, I'm dead. And yep, I'm dead. I'm just going to try to take out this last Hunchback. Yes! It's really satisfying when you get lucky hits like that with your SRMs. Really satisfying. Now, while I didn't do the greatest that game, I kind of let the enemy get too many of the bases, and my teams kind of got owned. I feel like I did pretty good. I killed 2 mechs. Granted, I didn't do all the damage alone, not even close to that. But I did a decent amount of damage. All the same, I feel like I did pretty well. Now, one thing you just gotta live with is sometimes you get bad teams when you're pugging. But, again, I got pretty decent damage. Highest damage on my team, actually, and considering I'm a light mech, that's pretty embarrassing for my team. But yeah, now, granted, you can't just watch it and do it yourself, but those of you who are more keen-eyed might have noticed some specific things I did in that game. And hopefully this first episode should help you do better in a Jenner. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you all next time. Have a nice day.